In this video, we will study about solubility equilibria. This is special type of equilibria, and remember it is applicable for sparingly soluble substances or generally sparingly soluble salts. What are sparingly soluble salts? We shall consider first. Now you know that the substances which are soluble in water, there are two types of substances: the substances which are soluble in water and which are insoluble in water. In this topic ionic equilibria, we are considering about only soluble substances. Again, soluble substances can be classified into two different parts. Now remember that solubility or the extent of solubility depends upon different factors. Remember, there are different factors like lattice enthalpy or enthalpy of hydration. What is lattice enthalpy? What is enthalpy of hydration? We shall consider in the topic thermodynamics. But the solubility of different substances depends upon these factors. Like this, solubility depend upon the temperature also. Now, if you know that, for example, suppose we have calcium chloride, it is very soluble, and so it can absorb the water vapors from the atmosphere also, and so it is called as hygroscopic substance. The substance like lithium fluoride, LiF, here it is insoluble in water. That means the solubility of different substances is different, and it depends upon different factors. But remember, on the basis of the solubility, the soluble substances are classified into two parts. The first one is completely soluble substances, and the second one is sparingly soluble substances. Now, completely soluble substances, they are dissolved in water completely, means their dissolution is more. For example, we have NaCl. NaCl is completely soluble in water. For example, suppose we have the definite quantity of water. Suppose we have taken in this container water. The quantity of water is suppose 1 liter. But in 1 liter water, when we are going to add NaCl, remember that there is limitation for the quantity of NaCl which gets dissolved in 1 liter of water. You can't add 1 kg of NaCl in 1 liter of water and it gets dissolved. Remember here, NaCl has the capacity to get dissolved, and so when you are going to add NaCl, after some time the solubility of NaCl goes on decreasing, and one stage comes at which NaCl cannot dissolve in water, in this 1 liter of water. It remains as it is. That means at that time you can obtain saturated solution. So here remember that in completely soluble substances, to obtain saturated solution, large amount of NaCl is required. That is, there is limitation, but the dissolution is more, and so the solubility, you can say here, is greater than 0.1 molar. That is, you can obtain the concentration of this solution here which is greater than 0.1, and so for completely soluble substances, solubility is greater than 0.1 molar. Now we shall see what is sparingly soluble substance. Sparingly soluble means it is very less dissolved in water. Its dissolution is very less. For example, suppose we have AgCl, silver chloride is a sparingly soluble salt. Now when sparingly soluble salt is added in water, again we have taken suppose 1 liter of water, and here we are going to add AgCl. But remember, in less time you can obtain the saturated solution, because here dissolution of AgCl is very less, and so the quantity which gets dissolved in water is very less, and so here the solubility or the saturated solution will be obtained. It has the concentration less than 0.01 molar. So remember that for sparingly soluble salt, the concentration of the solution is less than 0.01 molar, and that is called as sparingly soluble substance. We have to concentrate on sparingly soluble substance now. See here, you understand what is the difference between completely soluble substance and sparingly soluble substance. Now you can say that in completely soluble substance, the concentration of ions, for example in NaCl you can obtain Na plus ions and Cl minus ions. So the concentration of ions will be more. And in sparingly soluble salt, here when you add AgCl in water, it cannot get completely dissolved in water. So in saturated solution, most of AgCl is undissociated, and here as AgCl is a salt, it gets completely, or the dissolved part will be completely ionized in the form of ions, that is Ag plus and Cl minus. Here also NaCl is ionized to give Na plus ions and Cl minus ions. Now see here, what is the difference between these two? NaCl is strong electrolyte, AgCl is also strong electrolyte, but NaCl is completely soluble in water, and so the dissolved part of NaCl is in the form of Na plus ions and Cl minus ions. But here AgCl is also strong electrolyte, but it is sparingly soluble. So in saturated solution we can have AgCl molecules, and they are in contact with Ag plus ions and Cl minus ions, and therefore there is equilibria between the ions and unionized part. And so here we have to concentrate on such types of salts, that is sparingly soluble salt. So we shall study what is solubility equilibria for such types of salt. Now consider AgCl. I explained you when AgCl is dissolved in water, that is aqueous solution of AgCl, here it will ionize to give Ag plus ions and Cl minus ions. Most of AgCl will be in the form of molecules, and so there is equilibria between the ions and unionized part. And therefore remember here, if you apply law of mass action here and write down the expression for equilibrium constant for this reaction, it will be concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus divided by concentration of AgCl. This is the expression for equilibrium constant for this reaction, that is, it is the ratio of product of molar concentration of products to the product of molar concentration of the reactants. Now see here, concentration of AgCl is very large as compared to concentration of Ag plus ions and Cl minus ions. Why? Because AgCl is not soluble in water completely. It is very less soluble. So this concentration will be very large, and therefore it is considered as K dash or another constant. Now K into K dash, both are constant, and the product of these two constant, it is represented by Ksp, which is called as solubility product. So what is Ksp? Ksp is equal to concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus, and this Ksp is equilibrium constant, and that modified equilibrium constant is called as solubility product. Here AgCl, it ionizes to give Ag plus and Cl minus, and this equilibria is called as solubility equilibria. Remember, solubility equilibria is applicable for sparingly soluble substance. It cannot be applicable for completely soluble substance, because in sparingly soluble substances you can obtain this equilibria, and it is called as solubility equilibria. And if you apply here law of mass action and write down the expression for equilibrium constant, it will be written like this. Here concentration of AgCl or concentration of salt is constant. It is very large, so it is taken as constant K dash, and therefore K into K dash, it is represented by new constant Ksp, where Ksp is called as solubility product. Now in general we can define solubility product like this. Now remember, which are the conditions here? Solubility product, this is the modified equilibrium constant. So remember that equilibrium constant is constant at constant temperature, and therefore here at constant temperature. This is the first condition for the definition of solubility products. So at constant temperature. Now what is this? Concentration of Ag plus and concentration of Cl minus ions are at equilibrium, because in the expression of equilibrium constants these concentrations are at equilibrium, and so these concentrations are called as equilibrium concentrations. So the second condition is equilibrium concentrations of the ions. And what is AgCl? It is a sparingly soluble salt. And the third condition is we have taken sparingly soluble salt. And again the condition is, first I have explained AgCl, we have obtained saturated solution. So remember here, for the solubility product, these are the conditions applicable, that is at constant temperature in saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt, the product of equilibrium concentrations is constant, which is called as solubility product. See here we have taken the example of AgCl, but it can be applied for all these sparingly soluble salt. And what is KSP? It is the concentrations of ions. Which concentrations? Equilibrium concentration. At which conditions? The temperature is constant and the solution is saturated. And so remember that at constant temperature in saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt, the product of equilibrium concentrations of ions is constant, which is called as solubility product. Now in AgCl we have obtained one Ag plus ion and one Cl minus ion from one molecule of AgCl. But all these salts or all the molecules are not like this. For example, suppose we have calcium fluoride CaF2. This is also sparingly soluble salt. How it will ionize? When you obtain the aqueous solution of CaF2, in saturated solution of CaF2 we have CaF2 molecules as well as Ca++ ions plus F minus ions are 2. You have to balance this reaction, and here 2 F minus ions are obtained. That is CaF2 will ionize to give Ca++ ions plus 2 F minus ions. So if this, according to this definition, if you write the expression for solubility product of this salt, KSP is equal to product of concentration of ions, that means here we have obtained Ca++ ions and 2 F minus ions, means the product will be concentration of Ca++ into concentration of F minus into concentration of F minus, that means concentration of F minus raised to 2. So for such type of salt where the stoichiometric coefficient is greater than 1, that is it is 2, or for sometimes it will be 3, 4 like this, and here we have written the expression for solubility product like this. And so this definition is modified here. Remember, the definition is somewhat modified. How? Remember, at constant temperature in saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt, the product of equilibrium concentrations of ions raised to the power which is equal to the stoichiometric coefficient of that ion in a balanced chemical equation is called as solubility product. So see what is the difference in this. We have explained this. Here the concentration of ions is raised to the power, and which is the power? Which is equal to the stoichiometric coefficient of that ion. Here the stoichiometric coefficient of F minus ion is 2. Stoichiometric coefficient of Ca++ ion is 1. And so Ca++, concentration of Ca++ raised to 1. Concentration of F minus raised to 2. And so the definition of sparingly soluble solubility product is at constant temperature in saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt, the equilibrium concentrations of ions raised to the power which is equal to the stoichiometric coefficient of ions in a balanced chemical equation is called as solubility product. Now we shall see what is solubility. This solubility, I explained you, NaCl is completely soluble, AgCl is sparingly soluble. Now you can say that NaCl has more solubility than AgCl, but here solubility, how mathematically it can be expressed. Solubility can be expressed in two ways. It can be expressed in gram per liter, which is called as gram solubility, and it can be explained in mole per liter. That is, when we take 1 liter of the solution, in 1 liter the number of grams of this solute which are required to obtain the saturated solution. What is it? Suppose we have 1 liter of water and we are adding solute here. You can obtain saturated solution after some time, and so when the number of grams which are required to obtain 1 liter of saturated solution, it is called as solubility in gram per liter, or it is called as gram solubility. And now these grams can be converted into moles, and here this solubility is expressed in mole per liter, or it is called as molar solubility. Remember here, it is called as molar solubility, and molar solubility is important for us. Concentration is expressed in mole per liter, and it is called as molar solubility. Now these grams are converted into moles. When we obtain saturated solution, the definite amount of substance will be obtained, and it is measured, we have measured it in grams, and these grams can be converted into number of moles. How can be they can be converted into number of moles? By using the formula N is equal to W by M. Like this, if you have to obtain 1 liter of saturated solution of the substance, here the number of moles required, that is called as molar solubility. That means you can say that the number of moles in saturated solution is called as molar solubility, and for the sparingly soluble salt, the molar solubility will be less. And so how can you calculate molar solubility? The formula you have to remember: molar solubility, that is solubility in mole per dm cube, is equal to solubility in gram per dm cube or gram per liter, solubility in gram per liter, divided by, this formula is molar solubility, number of moles, W, that is mass of the solute, like this, solubility in gram per liter divided by molar mass of the solute. So remember here, this molar mass is in gram and it has the unit gram per mole. So remember this formula: molar solubility of the substance is equal to solubility in gram per liter divided by molar mass in gram per mole. So molar solubility of the sparingly soluble salt is very less, and it is denoted by capital S. Now you can say, for example, I will explain you. For example, I have AgCl again. We have obtained the saturated solution of AgCl, and in saturated solution of AgCl we will have this equilibria, that is solubility equilibria. AgCl is converted into Ag plus ions and Cl minus ions. What is molar solubility now? What the salt which is soluble, which gets soluble, the number of moles which are soluble in water, they are completely converted into Ag plus ions and Cl minus ions. So as the molar solubility, suppose it is S, then the concentration of Ag plus ions will also S, and concentration of Cl minus ions will be also S. Remember here, only dissolved part will be converted into ions, and so if the solubility, molar solubility, how we have defined, it is the number of moles which are dissolved to obtain saturated solution, and therefore when we say the molar solubility is S, means here S moles of Ag plus ions and S moles of Cl minus ions, and if the water has volume 1 liter, and you can say that the molar solubility is S and so concentration of Ag plus ions will be S and concentration of Cl minus ions will be S. So like this we can apply the solubility for different sparingly soluble salt and obtain the relation between S and Ksp. So we shall consider what is the relation between S and Ksp, that is solubility and solubility product for different sparingly soluble salts. Now different sparingly soluble salts can be explained like this. Suppose we have the salt like AB type. What is AB type of salt? Means when it will ionize, it will give you one A plus ion and one B minus ion, that is one cation and one ion, that is stoichiometric coefficient of cation is 1 and stoichiometric coefficient of anion is 1. Which are the examples? AgCl, this is AB type of salt. AgBr, it is also AB type of salt. BaSO4, like this. These are the salt of AB type. Now we shall take one example. Now we shall take AgBr. How AgBr will ionize? It will ionize to give Ag plus ions and Br minus ions. Means in saturated solution of AgBr we will have Ag plus ions and Br minus ions which are in equilibrium with undissociated AgBr. Now here if you say what is the value of Ksp or what is the expression for Ksp, it is the product of equilibrium concentration of ions, that is concentration of Ag plus ions and concentration of Br minus ions. Now suppose the solubility of AgBr is S. For all the salts we shall say that S is the molar solubility or the solubility is S, means S moles are dissolved in 1 liter. Now here when AgBr is dissolved in water, Ag plus and Br minus ions had the solubility or concentration is equal to S. Concentration of Br minus also is equal to S, and therefore you can say that Ksp for this is equal to S into S. Why? Because the concentration of Ag plus is S, concentration of Br minus is equal to S, and therefore Ksp is equal to S square. So remember, for such type of salt, that is the salt of the type AB, where we have the examples AgCl, AgBr, BaSO4, here Ksp is equal to S square. So when you have to calculate the value of solubility product, you have to use this formula. BaSO4, it will ionize like this, Ba plus plus ions and SO4 minus minus ions. Now the second type of salt, suppose we have the salt of the type A2B, or you can say AB2. What is AB2 or A2B type of salt? That is the stoichiometric coefficient of anion or cation is equal to 2, or here stoichiometric coefficient of anion or cation is 1. Now remember, here we have the example of CaF2. Here the ionization of CaF2 can be expressed as Ca plus 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 2F minus, means the stoichiometric coefficient of cation is 1 and the stoichiometric coefficient of anion is 2. Now when CaF2 is dissolved in water, small part gets converted into ions. Suppose the solubility is S, so concentration of Ca plus plus ions will be S, and what is the concentration of F minus ions? Here it will be twice the concentration of Ca plus plus ions, and so you can say that F minus has the concentration 2S. So Ksp is equal to concentration of Ca plus plus into concentration of F minus bracket square. This is the expression for solubility product. Here solubility product is the product of concentration of ions, and so here you can say it is concentration of Ca plus plus into concentration of F minus bracket square. What is the concentration of Ca plus plus? It is S. What is the concentration of F minus? It is 2S, and so here 2S bracket square That means the concentration S into 2S bracket square, the value will be S into 4S square, and so it is equal to 4S cube. So remember, for such type of salt like CF2, we can take another example also. Suppose we have PbI2, the same will be applied. KSP, that is solubility product, is equal to 4S cube, where S is the molar solubility. So remember, for such type of salt, first you have to write the ionization, you have to obtain the relation between KSP and S. Now suppose we have third type of salt. We can say here it is AB3 or A3B type of salt. That is, one of the stoichiometric coefficient is 3 and one is 1. For example, suppose we have AlOH thrice. Now CrOH thrice. These are the sparingly soluble substances. Now, how AlOH thrice will ionize? The ionization of AlOH thrice is represented Al plus 3 plus 3OH minus. Now the molar solubility of AlOH thrice is S, so concentration of Al plus 3 is S and concentration of OH minus ion is 3S. Here the expression for KSP for AlOH thrice will be concentration of Al plus 3 into concentration of OH minus raised to 3. So it is equal to S into concentration of OH minus is 3S raised to 3. So S into cube of 3 is 27 S raised to 3, and therefore it is equal to 27 S raised to 4. For such type of salt, remember KSP is equal to 27 S raised to 4. So the relation between KSP and S is not constant for all the sparingly soluble salt. It depends upon how it gets ionized, which are the coefficients of cations and anions, and so remember that it is very important to write the ionization of all the salts. You must have to remember these ionizations. Remember here, for AB type of salt, KSP is equal to S square. For A2B or AB2 type of salt, KSP is equal to 4S cube, and for AB3 or A3B type of salt, KSP is equal to 27 S raised to 4. Like this, for any type of salt, you have to write the ionization, you have to find out what is the relation between KSP and S. Then you can solve the problems to calculate solubility product if solubility is given, or to calculate solubility if solubility product is given. From the value of solubility product, now you can compare which salt or which substance is more soluble and which substance is less soluble. For example, suppose we have AgCl, AlOH thrice, BaSO4. These are sparingly soluble salt. Suppose the temperature is constant, because KSP is constant at constant temperature. At one temperature, value of KSP for these salts, suppose it is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 10. Here for AlOH thrice, suppose it is 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 33, and for BaSO4, suppose it is 1 into 10 raised to minus 10. See here, all these values are fixed. That is, value of KSP at constant temperature is constant. Remember, like equilibrium constant, value of KSP, that is solubility product for different salt, is constant. For AgCl, it is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 10. If you see these values of solubility product, these values are in the 10 raised to negative power. The power is negative because this solubility is very, very less, and so it is expressed in 10 raised to negative power. Now see here, these values are 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 10, 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 33, and 1 into 10 raised to minus 10. Now you can say that if the value of solubility product is more, then the salt is more soluble. If the value of solubility product is less, then the salt is less soluble. Like this, here you can say that 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 10 is more, 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 3 is less. So if you compare the solubility of these two salts, you can say that here AgCl is more soluble than AlOH thrice. Now remember, from the value of Ksp, you can compare the solubility of different sparingly soluble salts also. So remember this point here, when solubility product is more, then the salt is more soluble, and when solubility product is less, then the salt is less soluble. From the values of solubility product, we have to consider one concept, which are the conditions for precipitation. Conditions for precipitation. You know what is precipitation? PPT. We have obtained the PPT in the qualitative analysis of acidic radicals or basic radicals when you obtain the precipitation. Now remember, the value of solubility product, that is Ksp, is constant for any salt, and it is constant at constant temperature. For example, we have seen concentration of solubility product of AgCl at one temperature is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 10. Now this value is constant at constant temperature. This value is constant. Anywhere you can say that Ksp is for AgCl at 25 degrees Celsius is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 10. But there is another concept which is called as ionic product. What is ionic product? Now suppose we have one solution and it contains, suppose, Cl minus ions. Now we have taken one solution containing Cl minus ions. The concentration of Cl minus ions is fixed. Now here we are going to add the solution containing Ag plus ions. We have taken one solution. It may be of BaCl2, MgCl2, like this, and we are going to add in the solution containing Ag plus ions. The concentration of Cl minus ions here is fixed, and the concentration of Ag plus ions we are adding, or we are increasing the concentration of Ag plus ions in the solution. Now remember that when here concentration of Ag plus ions and concentration of Cl minus ions, the product becomes equal to 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 10. At that time, this solution is saturated solution of AgCl. Remember, we are applying this condition in reverse way. We have said that in the definition of solubility product, we have said that in the saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt. Now we are saying the solubility product is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 10, and when it will be 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 10, when the solution is saturated, that is concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus, this product will be equal to solubility product when the solution is saturated. But before that, this solution cannot be saturated. That means if this value that is concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus, this value we can call it as ionic product, and if this value is less than the solubility product, that is ionic product is less than the solubility product, that is Ip is less than Ksp, and you can say that at that time the solution will be unsaturated. Remember, before that the solution is unsaturated. Again we are going to add Ag plus ions, and one time will come at which the concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus is equal to solubility product. Now Ip, that is ionic product, is equal to solubility product. At that time what will happen? The solution will become saturated. Now again we are going to add Ag plus ions. We are continuously adding Ag plus ions here, and here what will happen after the saturation? Here when the solution saturated, and that condition will be super saturated, means ionic product will increase than the solubility product, and at that time the solution is called as, it is supersaturated solution, or in this solution we can obtain the precipitation. At that time we can obtain the PPT of AgCl. Now when you have to obtain the PPT of AgCl, remember here what is the condition? The ionic product must be greater than solubility product. Before that, when solubility product and ionic product, here this is the first condition, where ionic product is less than solubility product, you can say that the solution is unsaturated, you cannot obtain precipitate here. When ionic product becomes equal to solubility product, you can say the solution is saturated. And when ionic product is greater than solubility product, then the solution becomes supersaturated and you can obtain the PPT. So remember, this is one application of value of solubility product. If you know the value of solubility product for different salts, you can determine what will be the concentration or what concentration is required of the ions to obtain the precipitation of that salt. And this is the application in qualitative analysis of basic radicals. You know, in 11th standard, in qualitative analysis of basic radicals, the basic radicals are defined in different groups. First group, second group, third A group, fourth group, like this. And these different radicals or these different groups are on the basis of the values of solubility products. This is the one of the application of solubility product. That means if you have to obtain the PPT of that salt, you must know what is the solubility product of that salt and what should be the concentration of the ions we have to obtain the precipitation. Now in the next video we shall solve some problems on the basis of value of KSP and S.